So I've already done my basic like foundation, of course, and my brows. I did have to apply some concealer right above my brows just because they are very, very red. What I'm going to go ahead and do next is apply Max Painterly on my entire eyelid and underneath my brows. And I'm going to take that and, of course, apply it all over my entire eye. Because, again, I am so red. So I kind of went ahead, I got excited, and I did this half of my face. So as you guys can see, the eyes mostly matte. The only shimmer on my entire eye would be the eyelid, inner corner, and then I did smudge a little bit right underneath my eye just to kind of help the green in my eyes pop. So we're going to go ahead and do this eye, and I went ahead and put a piece of tape there, so I'm good to go. Now, what you want to do first, obviously we've primed by using the paint pot. I'm taking two different e.l.f. palettes. I am using the Matte for Matte, which is a staple. Like, I can't tell you how much you need this in your life because it goes with every single palette that you own. I promise. It's amazing. And then I'm using a Prism palette, which I haven't used in a while. And this one is in Sunset. I'm taking the Matte for Matte palette. I'm going to apply this... Whoop. I don't want to blind you guys. I'm going to apply this like nude shade right here all over my entire eyelid. So it's going to go in my crease and on the actual lid itself. This is going to be a nice transition shade. It's also going to help everything blend together. Now what I'm going to do next is mix that same color with the color right next to it. So I'm going to mix that nude matte shade there with this brown shade right here. So just take a little bit of each, and then I'm putting that into my crease right along the tape. Okay, now as you guys can see, that's a beautiful color for like the crease. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and apply the color from my eyelid. Now, the color I'm using is from the Prism palette, and they don't have any names, but it is this shade right here. It's super, super gorge. I mean, can you guys see that? Like, oh my goodness. That is just beautiful. So I'm actually going to use it with a mixing medium. I'll be taking the e.l.f. Makeup Lock and Seal, and I'm going to put about 2 drops on my hand here. And I'm going to take a flat paddle brush. I'm going to get that damp here, and then I'm going to grab that shade. Now this shade is kind of like, I don't know, it's like a shimmery beige peach, and everyone's like crazy about peach right now because of the Too Faced palette. So I kind of wanted to have a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of peach, and this is perfect. So I'm just going to go in and grab a little bit more here. And I'm bringing that all the way over here to the edge of the tape and all the way to my crease. Make sure to put it along your lash line as well. It is so gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and do my highlight. Now for the highlight, I'm going to pop back into the Matte for Matte palette, and I'm grabbing the lightest shade in here, which is right there. Don't be shy with this color. It's pretty close to my skin tone as it is, but I am going to kind of pack it on because I'm going to be blending here in a bit. So feel free to just kind of pack that bad boy on as much as you need. So I've already done that. Now what I'm going to do next is kind of blend it just a smidge. So I'm going to take that same brush that has a little bit of the crease color on it that we applied, and I'm going to blend that upwards just a bit into that. It's going to soften everything like that. Now next, I'm going to take the Mad for Matte palette yet again, and I'm going to grab a more warm color of brown for the crease. And it's going to be the shade right here. It's like a reddish brown. Now I'm grabbing a little bit at a time because you don't want to overdo it. And I'm going right against the tape and putting that into my crease. So I'm going to blend it in little circles. And then I'm going to grab a little bit more and I'm going to put that right along my lash line on the very outer edge. So basically just the outer V. Now you can stop right here if you want, and this is a really nice look to wear to work if you want, or a daytime look, but I'm going to kind of make it a little bit more bold, and by doing so I'm going to take the same brush, I'm going to grab another shade in this palette, which is this one right here. It's almost like a purple brown. It's a very cool color, but when you use a small amount of that, actually let me use a different brush, there we go. When you use a small amount of that with the warm, it's just really, really neat. So I'm using a very, very tiny pencil brush here, and I promise these are not bruises, these are swatches. So I'm going to apply that just on the outer crease here, and I'm going to build it up a bit in little circles here. Now you don't have to do this step again. If you really liked the look already, the way it was, you could just leave it at that, pop some liner on, and be good to go. But I'm really, really bold at heart, and there's just something about having a little bit more of like a dark brown. Like, I would wear this during the day, but I think it's kind of more of a nighttime look, but you know, whatever. I do what I want. I'm an adult. Now I am going to take another brush and I'm just going to very gently blend it. So just kind of blend everything. And as you guys can see, it is so, so pretty. I don't know. I love this look. I love it so much. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is go ahead and pop a little bit of a shimmer on the inner corner of my lid, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the under eye. Now for the shimmer, I'm using the Prism palette again, and I'm going to use this almost white shade here in the palette right there. So I'm going to use the e.l.f. Makeup Lock and Seal again, and a very, very tiny little brush. And then, to spice things up a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and take an e.l.f. eyeshadow pencil. This is one of the new duo sticks that they came out with, and I don't know the name of it. It's brown. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, brown, I guess is the name of it, so go figure. And I'm going to apply just a little bit of the matte side right underneath my lower lash line here. It doesn't have to be perfect because we will be blending this out. So I went ahead and put it along the lash line and I brought it inwards. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a kind of thick pencil brush and I'm just going to kind of blend that a bit back and forth and soften the edge. Now I'm going to take the same brush and I'm going to go back into the Prism palette here, and I'm going to grab this beautiful like purple brown shade, just a smidge, and I'm going to pat that right on top of that brown eyeshadow pencil that we just used, and I'm going to blend it. This look is so pretty for green eyes. If you have blue eyes, you're going to love it. If you have brown eyes, you're going to love it. It's good for all eyes. Okay, now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take an eyeliner, and in all honesty, I'm not good at doing this on camera, so I'm not going to, but that's why I have the tape here. It is the Maybelline New York Eye Studio liner, and this is just in brown, so it's just a plain matte brown color. I'm going to go ahead and apply that along the tape to do a very, very tiny cat eye. I'm going to wing that liner out, but I'm going to keep it pretty thin. Okay, so I went ahead and tight lined my upper lash line upper waterline, as well as my lower waterline using the Stila Smudgestick waterproof eyeliner in Damsel, which is a very beautiful matte dark brown. This is like my favorite liner to do anything with when it comes to like tight lining and water lines because it is waterproof and it does stay, and well, that's good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the piece of tape. That way you guys can see what I've got going on here. And I'm going to try a new mascara today. I just got this and I've used it on this side, and I do notice a huge difference. I am new to fiber lash stuff. Like, I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm definitely not a pro. I've never used anything like it before. And this is from Wet n Wild. I saw this at Walgreens and I was like, what? So it was like $7, and has like a lash fiber mascara thing, and then of course your regular mascara. I'm going to go ahead and apply this to my lashes real fast. Okay, now I didn't do my lower lash line, or lower lashes. Okay, too much energy drink. But I will here in a little bit. So this is the lash fibers. Comes in a smaller container, and there are little teeny tiny fibers in this. You got to be extremely careful when you do this. I only apply it just to the tip. I don't put it on the entire lashes because I don't really want it that close to my eyeball. Just saying. I haven't had any bad luck, but I don't really want to have bad luck either, so. Okay, so again, you know the drill. Take the mascara and apply it on top of it. That way we get these vavoom, like voluptuous lashes from all get out. So I'm kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie. What I decided to go ahead and do is I'm using, basically everything I'm using is pretty affordable, but I'm going to go ahead and use a highlighter, or it's not really a highlighter, but I'm going to use it as a highlighter right now. This is the Maybelline New York Fit Me, and it's a concealer and sand Sable. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. Right underneath my eye. And then I'm going to use a powder to set it. Which, by the way, I have been absolutely loving the e.l.f. I think it's called Prep and Prime, or Prime and Stay finishing powder. Oh my goodness, it's only like $2, and it's phenomenal. So now, you guessed it, I'm going to go ahead and use that Prime setting powder here from e.l.f. And yeah, it's $2. I literally have 8 of these now. I kind of went a little crazy, but when you try it, you'll understand, and you will too. So it's pretty good stuff. Alright. Next, I'm going to go ahead and do my blush, my highlight, and my contour. Now for that, I will be using the e.l.f. contour palette, and that's going to be my highlight as well. I like the yellow shade in here for a highlight. I know a few people have said that they didn't really like it. I do, just because, as you guys can see, it gives a light sheen but no shimmer, and that is what I'm looking for if I'm going for like a, you know, smoky eye, and I want to keep things a little bit more simple, a little bit more low key. That's perfect. So I'm going to start with the contour real fast, and I'm going to sculpt out my cheeks real quick. I'm going to go along my face, get rid of that double chin because that ain't pretty. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my forehead as well. And it's kind of hard to do with clips in your hair like I have, but you know, whatevs. Okay, now time for the highlights. And I'm going to use another brush for that, of course, because you don't want to mix the two. It'd be kind of weird. So again, I'm going to grab that yellow shade. Now for the contour, just in case I didn't show you, I used the darkest shade in this palette, and it's pretty darn nice. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that beautiful yellow. It has like a gold color to it. It's just really, really nice. I'm going to apply it on my chin, on my nose as well, and then on my forehead. There's that. Now for the blush, I wanted to kind of use as much e.l.f. products as possible. So I decided to go ahead and use, this is the Pressed Mineral Blush, and this is in Cabo Cabana. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Such a pretty color, by the way. So I'm using the Luxe Sheer Cheek from Zoeva, and this is going to give me a nice flush. Particularly with these blushes, they are so pigmented, and it can be really freaking easy to like go outside looking like a clown. Okay, so for the lips, I decided to go with a pink, and I'm going to use my MAC lip conditioner because, well, my lips are kind of shitty, to be honest with you. They have been so, and it's always my bottom lip, but it's so freaking chapped. Like, every day, all day, that's the only thing it does, which drives me nuts. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and use a Colourpop Ultra Matte Lip, and this is in Bianca. So it's kind of like a really nice pink. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial as always, and if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys definitely know how to reach me. Yeah, so that's it. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.